So I have to say I ducked up in the last video. There were complaints that the Sony footage looks horrible. I was thinking, what the heck happened? And actually that was totally my fault, because I haven't overexposed the S-Log. I usually use my custom presets in the camera, but since I have to switch to aperture priority, I haven't used the presets and the exposure was set to 0. So that was the first thing that I forgot to overexpose the S-Log. You should overexpose to 1.7, maybe 1.3 EV. So that was the first problem. And the second problem actually was that I used the DaVinci built-in conversion LUT, which is kind of crappy. It is better to use color space transform instead of the built-in LUT, and it gives better results, or use other proper LUT for S-Log and create some custom look. So that was completely my fault. And other thing is that for full body shots I should lower the tripods to have my head in the rule of thirds, and that way I would be able to be closer to the camera, so I would create more separation from the background. And again, that was my fault. So today I will try to redeem myself. Regarding the full body shot, it's not the problem, because I got the series when I compare all the focal lengths with full body shots, so you can check it. It's in the description below and probably on the cards up there. So not a big deal, but treat the last video with a grain of salt regarding the colors on Sony and regarding the exposure on Sony, and also regarding the full body shot. Each cameras can yield better results regarding the full body shot. Like there would be more background separation if I position myself better. And I'm shooting again OM5, Sony A6600 and Sony A7 IV, but this time angle grinders. Yes, that's the time for angle grinders. They weren't here the whole morning, but now they are. But I hope this mic can eliminate this. So actually this time it is 85 millimeters equivalent. So on a full frame I got 85 millimeters Sigma, on APS-C I got 56 millimeters Sigma f1.4, and on Olympus I got 45 f1.8. so it is a bit tighter probably, but it is close enough for 85. For 85 I'm not doing the full body shot, because it is almost never used for full body shots. Usually it is used either for the portrait shot or for the close-up, because it's the usual way it is used either in movies or interviews. So again, I'm in the center of the frame to a degree, and you can compare how they stack up against each other. And at the moment I'm at f4 equivalent, so on full frame it is f4, on APS it is f2.8, and at Micro Four Thirds it's f2, and this is how it looks like. Okay, now there is probably some funeral and the priest is singing. Not very good singer, but better than myself. So enjoy the background music. I hope it is not copyrighted, so I wouldn't get a strike. But this is actually the at f4. I would switch now to, damn it, I would switch in a second to the fastest it can go. So the full frame can go to f1.4, APS-C also f1.4, but that would be f2 equivalent, and Micro Four Thirds can go to f1.8, which is f3.6 equivalent, so not much faster than at the moment. And actually the 85 got quite good background compression, so there is less background, so it seems it is more out of focus, but actually every f-stop at the same crop creates exactly the same depth of field, but the illusion is because of the background compression. So the illusion is that longer focal length creates better. And it's raining. Let's see how weather sealed they are, but my jacket is not weather sealed, so I have to switch to the fastest and record quickly the fastest they can go. Okay, so now I'm recording at the fastest aperture every of these lenses can go. So f1.4 full frame, f1.4 on APS-C, and f1.8 at micro four thirds. So it is f1.4 on full frame, f2 equivalent on APS-C, and unfortunately f3.6 on micro four thirds. And as I said, the 85 creates this illusion that there is more background separation than other shorter focal lengths, but actually at the same crop and the same f-stop, the depth of field is exactly the same, and it's raining really hard, so I have to stop recording. At least there are no angle grinders, but I will review this and see what are the conclusions. And sorry for ducking up the other video. I hope this time the exposure will be correct on Sony's and I can color grade it correctly using the proper tool. After reviewing the footage, I can say now that the exposure and colors are much better. I just use color space transform for colors and exposed properly in the cameras. What a rookie mistake. The main conclusion is that you should use your camera every day to get better, not buy new gear every other day. I actually set up a goal last year to either shoot photos or videos every day, and I managed to do it on 76 of 106 days. Sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, and I work 9 to 5. But regarding the 85mm shot, I'd say all of them are fine in this scenario. Background is 9.5 meters behind me, and I'm 2.5 meters from the sensor. So due to background compression, the separation is good enough even at f4. And I wouldn't go lower than f2.8 because in portrait or close-up the depth of field becomes so shallow that your nose won't be in focus anymore. Sure, if the lighting scenario is demanding, you can go faster, but f2.8 is what movies usually use. Around 85mm, even micro four thirds is good enough for talking head. The downside is at this focal length you are quite far away from the camera, so it might be hard to see the screen or teleprompter. But look at the size difference for each. Sure, micro four thirds is slower. If I got Olympus 45 f1.2, the size would be more like Sony's 85mm f1.8, but still smaller than Sigma f1.4. But as proven here, even the cheap 45mm f1.8 is enough in this scenario. So if you are on the budget, the current prices for each setup I used are on the screen. Again, full frame is double the price of micro four thirds or APS-C setup. You can get two for the same price. Go get your dream setup and go use it. It is much more important than getting new gear every day and not using it at all. Cheers, mate!